Effectively, loan distribution started in 2020, and from 2020 to today, we've passed 20,000 students, Bayelsa indigents. The loan was established to cater for Bayelsa indigents, especially indigent students, those who would find it difficult to pay their school fees. It's for everybody, every Bayelsan, whether you're rich, you're poor, irrespective of background. But majorly, the target population is those who really find it difficult to pay their school fees. Some people would have admission but would not go to school because they don't have the means to pay their fees, and so the government at the time thought it wise that a scheme like this would help. You must be a Bayelsan first, and that we can ascertain with your identification letter. Now, having been a Bayelsan, you first would also have to have an admission letter. Yes, you must be admitted first. That's the first prerequisite. You must be admitted first. Then with your admission letter, you go online. We are now online. We used to give out forms initially, but we are now online. www.byshelb.by.gov.ng. That's our website. But if you're finding it difficult to get the website, just type Bayelsa State Higher Education Student Loan Board, and you just on Google. When you search that on Google, you'll see the link. Right. And so you just go straight to it. You don't need to bother about the website address. So you go there, and then there's a step-by-step procedure on how you complete the application process. Now, the documents you need are, first, your admission letter. Number 2, your BVN, your NIN, your local government identification, like I said. Okay, admission letter, very important. And then you have to have a letter from either your head of department or your dean or your student affairs department, to ascertain that you are actually a student. But for freshers who do not have matriculation numbers, we can just deal with the admission that has been offered to you once we verify the authenticity of that admission letter. So once you have these documents, you are good to go.
Any guarantors for the loan?
Yeah. You need 2 guarantors, actually. The law actually specifies that one of such guarantors must be a civil servant of not less than grade level 12. But we also found out that when we started, a lot of criticisms here and there, people complaining, I don't have civil servants, don't want to guarantee me, and all of that. So we also relaxed on that condition, and we have just said any 2 guarantors. Just come with any 2 guarantors, whether they are your parents, your brothers, your sisters, as long as they can guarantee that you are actually related to them in one way or the other. But what we do is also have an idea, their NIN too. So just for, it's just a layer of security, so that in case we can't find the beneficiary when it's due for repayment, we can always reach out to the guarantors. So that's just it.
All right. So what's the repayment period like?
The law actually stipulates 1 year after youth service.
All right.
1 year after youth service. But if people would ask, what if I don't have a job? That's always one of the frequently asked questions. How do I repay when it's difficult to get a job in Nigeria, and so on and so forth? So we have 2 types of repayments. If your father or your mother, any of your parent is a civil servant and they guarantee you, what we do is when it's due for repayment, we write to them and inform them that your son, took this loan and you guaranteed, you're a civil servant, so would you like us to be taking that from your salary?
Okay.
We write to the ministry. So when we write to the ministry, they contact the parents or those who have guaranteed for their words, and then they accept, and we deduct from source. So the money just comes straight to us from Treasury. That's what we're doing. That's number one. Number two is that you have to graduate and find a job one way or the other 1 year after. We will just ask you to repay. But now you have a window to actually negotiate. You can actually negotiate how you want to repay. So it's not like there's government is going to put a knife on your neck to say you must repay. If not, you'll go to jail. There's nothing like that. That's the way it operates.
All right. That means whether you're in university, college of education, so long as you're from Bayelsa.
So long as you're from Bayelsa, you are in any higher institution.
Is there an amount, is a ceiling, or how much you can give
what
out?
we actually pay is the school fees.
Whether it's 1 million naira, 500,000 naira, you pay the school fees.
If that is your school fees, because if you check, we're dealing with students from BMU. BMU has BMU University of Africa. Their fees are a bit higher than those of NDU and some other universities. Then some universities outside Nigeria, outside Bayelsa, like River State University, they also charge some higher fees. So, but it's your fee that we pay. If you are in federal universities, your fees pay, the amount is actually cheaper. So depending on your school fees, that's what we pay. This is something that has happened in several other countries in the West. And so we copied from that, and we're doing very well, as you can see. Over 20,000 students is no mean feat. And I can say that in Nigeria, we set the pace, and the federal government, bought into what we're doing, and we'll take credit for starting the, loan scheme back in Nigeria again. And the federal government, of course, even when they started, they were about to set up theirs. We're called to, support them in one way or the other.
Really?
We were called in as consultants. I was at the National Assembly when they were trying to fine tune the law, to speak to them for NELFund, yes, to speak to them about what we are doing, how we have navigated, the rough waters, and how we have come to stabilize. And so, if you look at NELFund law and Bayelsa law, you find out that it's almost the same thing, apart from maybe very few tweaks here and there.
Over 20,000 persons have benefited. Have we also started seeing a repayment?
Yeah. A lot of them are actually repaying. When we started, we had included postgraduate students as well, and just up until about 2 or 3 weeks back, we suspended that postgraduate element, because actually the law itself was made for undergraduate students, not for postgraduate. But because of our peculiar environment, we try to bend over backwards to accommodate the postgraduate students, but they are all repaying their loans. If you are a postgraduate student and you have benefited before, what we do is, when it's due for you to repay, because we gave all postgraduate students, and by extension everybody, we give a 6 months moratorium period. Once that 6 months elapse, sometimes we even allow it to elapse up to a year, thereabout, before we start asking you to repay. Now, if we have given you an amount, a certain amount, say 500,000, what we tell you is that you need to pay that money in 12 months. So we just divide that amount by 12. And so whatever you have is the amount you pay per month. But if you, some people would write to us and say, no, I'm indebted somewhere, I have this loan obligation I'm settling, so I can't carry that heavy burden. So please, can you allow me to repay in 24 months? We allow that. Can you allow me to repay in 36 months? We also allow that. I think the window, the elastic limit is 5 years. So if you can repay it in 5 years, it's okay.
All right.
So there's no specific schedule. If you want to pay us all at once, it's fine. At least that takes off the burden of.
Well, there's no interest. It's interest.
No interest at all. It's purely interest free. It's more like a social service. Actually, government is not really is not getting any gain. Rather, it's losing.
Because the value
of money all keeps dropping. So it's not like government is, but it's just like a social service. Okay. Let me, by way of recap, say that the loan scheme for students has come to stay, and we hope that it will continue to stay for as long as Bayelsa exists, whether government changes or not. After all, this was instituted by the previous administration and it's still being continued, and so we hope that even the next government and future administrations will continue with this scheme. It's actually helping students. Every day students are happy that their fees are being paid, and so it's helping both students, helping both parents, and so on. Now the scheme operates like this. If you're a Bayelsan and you have gained admission into any university or any higher institution at all, you're qualified to be part of this scheme. That you can access this loan via our website. Just go to Google, type, search for Bayelsa State Higher Education Students Loan Board, and you will see the link and you follow the instructions to apply. Now, the loan does not discriminate. It's for everybody. I want to speak to something. I remember it's some time ago, somebody was on this studio, a friend of mine was on this studio and was saying that they don't know who the loan is being paid for to. It's for people, man, no man, and all of that. But let me speak to that. This loan does not know party. It doesn't know status. It's for everybody. It doesn't know your background. It doesn't know what it doesn't matter whether you're from the governor's LGA or you're from an LGA that does not even have anybody in power. It's for everybody, and the way it operates, it's seamless. You apply online. We don't even know who is applying. We don't even know who is applying. So as long as your application has gone through, you get your alert, credited to you. For those universities that are within Bayelsa State, we pay straight to the universities. For BMU, for UAT, and for NDU, we pay to university. But for every other student outside of Bayelsa State, we pay to the student's account, and then they go and do their registration. So we've been doing this for the past 5 years. So it's only for those who are interested. Don't say, if you are not interested, don't come and be saying that you need a loan. It's for those who are interested and who actually need it. It's not for people to go and buy akara in school, or to go and to buy wig in school. It's for school fees. So we have had cases of students who got this money and they say they don't know where money came from, and they use it for the Naira bet. And the parent came to our office and was asking why his son has not been paid. But when we check our records, we found out the son has been paid. And by the time he asked his son, the son was telling him he didn't even know where the money came from. And you applied for a loan and you got money. Description is even there. So it's not for you to do Naira bet. It's not for you to go and buy wig for ladies. It's for you to pay your fees whenever you get it. And we are glad of the success story. We've done a survey, and We have found out that school dropout rate has actually reduced. And we have also found out that those who benefited from the loan, they are performing better academically than when they were struggling to pay fees. So these are some of the things that we have found out, and we can say that government has done very well. The funding has not been a problem for now, as far as I do know. Government has been very deliberate in funding the project, the scheme, and so I cannot say that we have any funding challenge as at today. Then I want to speak to my postgraduate applicants that for now that portal has been temporarily suspended, so we can recoup our money and give to those who actually need it. But later on, as the spirit leads, we may open it back for them to still access. But for now, the PG program is temporarily suspended, and we want to focus more on undergraduate students who actually the scheme was designed for.